visit for a while, but it that week just flew by, and but just being able to spend time with my mom has just really been a blessing. So
Are you and your mom close?
we are, yeah,
Yeah,
we
you're
are,
lucky. A lot of families,
yeah.
they don't have closeness. They kind of just get along, you know?
I mean,
I'm
don't get
going
me
to,
wrong, we have our moments, but
yeah, well, and I think that's when you have powerful women, that's always going to happen. You can only have one queen bee. I have
oh yeah,
3 daughters, and they all think they're queen, and one wife and knows she
oh of
is.
course.
Yeah. Oh, there's pictures of when they were younger and I was younger, and you can tell they're just putting on a smile, and the only person smiling is me and my wife. That's it. They've been wrestling, mentally wrestling. I'm going to read stuff to you. You tell me what you think when you hear it, okay?
Okay.
My heart says chocolate and wine, but my genes say, for the love of God, woman, eat a salad.
I I know that. You should share that on my Facebook wall.
That's a good one, isn't it?
I
That's
like
a good.
that one.
That's a good
I
one.
like that one.
Okay, I'm going to read this. This one I wrote a long time ago, and anytime I write something, I'm usually in a mood. So we'll see what this one's about. Do you believe in the power of prayer to awaken your soul? Let your mind be free of fear and regret this week. Let the joy unfold in your world. You are loved beyond words could ever express. Does that resonate with you, or is that
I
all a
love
bunch of
that. Yeah.
manooey? A bunch of manooey.
No. No, it's not a bunch of manure.
I think I was having a rough week, and that was like a pep talk to me, especially when I read this. Let your mind be free of fear and regret this week, Michael. That's what it should say. Yeah. I, oh, okay. Here's a weird one. What's going on?
I am trying to. Okay, let me see if I can get the next step. Hang on just a second.
Okay. Do you want
Okay.
me to continue reading and you'll make sound
Yeah.
effects?
Yeah.
Okay. We meet ourselves time and time again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life. Ooh, that's good.
Mm.
We meet ourselves time and time again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life. I did not write that. That's way too good. That's Carl Jung. And we all play roles, don't we, in
Oh, we
this
do
life?
at times. Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when are you going to start your ministries up on Haps? Have you
I'm
thought
gonna
about
start.
it?
I'm gonna really start praying about it and just let God lead the way He wants to about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one. A real leader faces the music even when he doesn't like the tune.
Mm.
Do you run? Are you a runner? I have people in
No,
my
no,
family
not
that when
anymore.
things get
Not
heated, they run.
anymore.
They move, they quit, they don't talk to the person anymore. Like, are you a person that's okay with conflict? If it's.
I guess it just depends. All of my life I've you know been in relationships with conflict, and I hated it. And oh gosh, well, 20 years ago now, I actually just decided I'm going to have to fix myself and not engage in all of that mess, because that's what it was. It was just this huge mess. And I decided I didn't like conflict anymore.
Hmm.
So I had to change me first, and moving forward, I don't like conflict. However, not to say that it's not there at times, but you work through it in a different way, a much different way. So,
I love the way you
that's
process thoughts. Because I'll say something to you, it stews in you. I can see it's kind of stewing. You're thinking about it, then you unpack it, And then if you unpack something and you go, well, no, that's not, I don't think that's totally correct. And then you unpack it again, and it's like you make distinction it's as you're saying it, which is, I don't know. I think that girl that just said that 3 seconds ago could be full of shit.
Well,
And then you argue with
it's
yourself.
funny. Yeah, it is. It is because it's really it is crazy because I've had these mind battles just going back and forth, back and
Hmm.
forth. So you got to make a decision. Do you,
I
you
love
know,
that. Mind
do
battles.
yeah, and that's what they are.
Is that what they are?
Be-
I
yeah,
don't know if I've ever heard that. That's brilliant. Mind
yeah,
battles. That's, yeah.
mind battles.
I've heard chatter of the brain. I've heard
Hmm.
that, but mind battles is probably more correct.
Because so much conflict
Hmm.
starts in your mind, in your thoughts. And then when it gets overwhelming, it becomes outward.
What do you do when you have these mind battles?
Oh goodness. Sometimes, no, granted, sometimes I will snap at people, not meaning to, but
Hmm.
I do at times. But then there's times I just need to go in a room and get by myself and
Hmm.
say, look, this needs to change.
Have you had to do that recently?
It's been a while since I've had to do that.
So you're in a good chapter of your life.
Right now, yes, I am.
That's good. You deserve it.
You know,
What can you remember a time in the last 10 years what that was a real low point that you had to have that self-reflection, self-discussion?
oh goodness, you know, my last relationship, and you were talking about runners, and dear God, that man was a runner, and to be as let me see how can I put this? To be as such a successful man in the
Yes.
areas that he was in,
Hmm.
he was such a runner. I
Interesting.
mean, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hello.
Who are you talking to?
I think my brother just came out and realized I was not talking to myself.
Well, it's good to talk to yourself as long as you don't argue with yourself.
Exactly.
I think if you, and do you sing a lot? I sing all the time. That's a sign of that you're in tune with yourself when you're singing.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I've been practicing Islands in the Stream.
Have you? Good for you. So,
I have.
see, in this life, if you plant, if you plant a seed, it too shall grow. Maybe you never know. With a
Mm.
little bit of prayer, God's delays aren't God's denials. There you go. Kenny Rogers up in heaven is probably going, "Yes, dear, sing it for me. Send me love vibes. Thank you. I need them. Yes, joy, bring joy to my world. Please sing for me." Okay, enough of my nui. Um, I'm going to read you. This is more of an affirmation. So I, again, didn't write this, but it's interesting. I am strong because I know my weakness. I am beautiful because I am aware of my flaws. I am a lover because I have felt hate. Ooh. I am wise because I learn from my mistakes. And I can laugh because I have felt sadness. The one line is really strange. I am a lover because I have felt hate. Ooh, Jesus. What?
Mm. Now,
Wow.
now,
That's
okay,
weird.
yeah. The next line. Read the next line.
I am wise because I learned from my mistakes. And the next
That
line.
one took me a while to figure out.
Well, you know what I've gotten really good at in my later life is I don't necessarily have to live a mistake, if someone within my inner circle has done something wrong, I look at that as a warning. So I'll give you an example. My grandfather, who I look very much like, was pregnant most of his life. He was huge.
Hmm.
And um, he ended up having a heart attack. He was on every drug known to man. He had already had a heart attack by the time he was my age.
Right.
And I thought, okay, we have other people in our with blood pressure problems, cancer, you name it, whole gamut of things, right? And I thought, if I don't get my health in check, I will be a soil sample sooner than not. And then last year, I got COVID and it scared the living shit out of me. And since then, I think I've lost 35 pounds. So if I was to show you a screenshot of me when I first started at HAPS and now, my head looked like a zit ready to pop. Where now I look more like my youthful self from 20 years ago. But my skin, everything else, I'm not eating meat now. I do eat fish, but I'm eating mostly greens now. And I'm not eating
Right.
dairy, no cheese. And I'll tell you, once I got off the glue, which is milk,
Hmm.
my intuitive sides, I swear, were heightened. It's interesting. So I think I'm more aligned. And maybe just from eating greens, you're more naturally connected to source energy if you believe
Oh
in those
yeah.
things.
And that's what I've been trying to do, especially over this last, oh gosh, 2 years,
Yes.
is trying to get back healthy.
Yeah.
Because when 3 years ago, when I went to training,
Hmm.
I was down there for 7, 9 months, something like that. I gained 30 pounds. 30
Wow.
pounds.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of weight.
It's a lot of weight.
That's a lot
And
of I just lost 30 pounds and I know how difficult it was to lose it. You know what's
oh yeah.
crazy? So easy to gain it. So
Oh,
hard to get rid of it, especially as you get older.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Michael, when um I went on a weight loss journey, this has
Hmm.
been a few years ago.
Yeah.
I was about 230 pounds.
Yeah. Wow. What do you weigh now?
Right now, I am at like 155.
And what would be ideal for you?
I, at my goal weight that I had set for myself 4 years ago, which I reached, and I did cartwheels on Periscope because I reached
Yeah.
it, but I went down to 130. And my rheumatologist was like, that is way, way too thin for your frame. So I would like to
So
go
so
back
what is
to
what
about
is ideal? Like
140.
one
I'd
40?
like to go back to 100, between 140, 145.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I would just love to lose 5 on my stomach and I would feel perfect again.
Yeah.
Just yeah, but I think we said this last time. First on, last off. And what I mean is the
Mm,
weight. Wherever you gain
yeah.
the weight first, that will be the last place you lose it. It's so strange.
Oh Lord, I always gain in my butt and legs and stomach. That's kind of like the order it goes in.
Yeah. You'll gain it in the boobs too though, right? Everywhere.
So, yeah, sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Cuz you'll find with some women who've lost a lot of weight and gained a lot of weight, they'll have stretch marks, right?
Oh
And
yeah, they will. Yeah.
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 Um, stability. I'm gonna throw some words out to you here. It's a collage. Okay. So tell
Hmm.
me one of the words. We used to do this a long time ago. So I'll read about 10 words and you tell me which one you like the best and then just blurt out about it. And that's what these are great for. So agility, stability, energy, complexion, in full bloom, flourish, robustness. Jesus, that's hilarious. Relaxation, firmness. There's about 50 words on here. And so for me, I'll go first. I would say complexion. My skin now is better than it's been maybe my whole life. I don't know if my
Mhm.
skin has ever been this good. And I'm not eating junk anymore. So that's what the one word.
Yeah.
Was there a word in there that you heard that triggered you at all? Or do you want
Stability.
what's that?
Stability.
Stability. Are you looking
Mhm.
for stability in your life?
I was. I believe I have it now.
Okay. So mentally, if you were to rate yourself mental health wise right now, what would you give yourself?
Right now, about a 7.
Me too. Me too. Um, I have moments of 8 and I have moments of 5.
Oh yeah.
It,
I
it
think
depends on the
we
day.
all fluctuate.
Yeah. I was not good earlier this week when my ex partner died in
Mhm.
business. It was you know, I don't know how old you are because you don't look a day over 30, so we'll just leave it there. But
No, I
um,
told you how old I was.
I know. I just some women get very upset if you bring a. I already told you once. I'm gonna come down there, knock that stuffing out of you, you dumbass.
Mm.
I've had people lose it on me because I've asked them repeatedly about their age. But yeah, I think it's even more tough for women because there's and you see all these starlets, right? And they get the fillers in their face, and their face never looks the same because they're trying
Oh
to get
yeah.
rid of their oh god, get the wrinkles. Hi Tim. Good morning, Tim. How are you? Uh, all right. I invited you up, Tim, if you want to come up. But if it's, I think Tim is the gentleman who does kind of health stuff.
Oh, okay.
He talks about health and yeah. I think it's the same guy. If it's not, sorry, Tim. Just tell me
I've
if I'm right or wrong.
actually I've actually looked into becoming a health coach.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see people loving spending time with you because 90% of what a health coach is to help you get your energy aligned. No, you are right. Mental health hour. Yeah, with Gemma. That's what I thought. Okay. I can't tell you, man, how many times I've mixed up people's names and they're like, that's not me. Are you an idiot? And I go, yes, most days. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mm.
But yeah, it's better to be safe. Yeah, if you ever want to come up, just say beam me up and I'll bring you up. But the the world is changing and it's getting I'm worried. And I got to be honest with you. I'm worried because we have the one camp that thinks they're being manipulated and everything needs to be back to the way it was. And then we have another camp that I think will never not stop wearing a mask,
Hmm.
will never stop wanting to have a vaccine. So there's a huge divide again. And you've
It
got
is.
those that will never get a vaccine. They don't care.
Hmm.
And we've got people who are, I would say, like the one gentleman. I'm not going to use his name, but I think he's a billionaire now. And he's like, "Nope, I trust my immune system. Thank you. I'm not letting anybody poke me." And then a couple of my favorite teachers that have influenced me over the years are dead against it, and they feel like it's a violation. And I'm kind of like, listen, if it makes everybody safe, even in their mind, I'm okay with it. My thing is, are we going to have to get vaccinated every 6 months?
That's what I'm beginning to wonder now
Because,
because,
yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Because nobody actually knows for sure with this vaccine because it is new.
Yeah,
There's
we're
different
guinea pigs.
variants. Yeah, and we
Yeah,
are. We do not
it's
know what the known side effects are
yeah,
because at this point no one knows.
and we can't
So
expect perfection
no,
when we've never been
no,
here, and that's just rude to think that unless you expect the doctors to be the all-seeing, all-knowing. There's no such thing. We're
right.
gonna fail, and
Yes.
unfortunately, there will be people that will suffer. There will be deaths, but there'll probably be a lot less deaths.
right.
Yeah. What do you think?
And and you're right. There's such a divide, and I believe, yeah, it is a personal choice, but at the same time, this virus is not a joke.
Hmm.
Do I believe some of those numbers have been manipulated? Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Is there no doubt that people are dying every day from this virus? Absolutely.
Yes.
But I do know if COVID is listed on a death certificate, if they are in the hospital or a nursing home, they do get federal money from that.
Yes.
And
There
because
is
my
there
mom
is
and I,
there is angles to it, and you're
oh,
not the
there
first
is,
person
yeah,
to say this, by the way.
yeah.
No.
So, and that's like my mom and I were talking. My dad never had a lot of the horrific side effects to it,
Yeah.
but it
Can
is
you
listed
can you
on
do the
his death
backstory
certificate.
quickly for the people who don't know what you're talking about? Because it's very personal with
Okay,
you.
yeah,
Yeah. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Just a
My
minute, kind
Right.
of. Yeah.
My dad was in a nursing home, and the nursing home was locked down. So my mom was not able to visit for, oh gosh, 8, 9 months. And on Thanksgiving, they called and said he was diagnosed with COVID.
Yeah.
He was asymptomatic,
Mm-hmm.
doing well, still eating as as much as he, did. Um, there was some days he would eat, his meal. He was actually on a liquid diet. They would have to puree all of his food because he had such difficulty swallowing. He had dementia. And then there was a couple of days where he'd run a low grade temp, and
Mm-hmm.
he'd had off and on breathing difficulties. But the day before he passed, which was, I believe, on a Friday, my mom had called. They said they had just given him a bath. He had done so well, doing great, feeling well. Um, Saturday, they said, if you want to see him, you need to get here.
Wow. So you turn quickly.
He
They
turned
knew.
that quickly,
Yeah, they knew.
that quickly. Within within probably a 12-hour span.
Yeah.
And that's why mom and I don't really think that it was COVID that he died from,
Right. But it got put in that blanket.
because yeah, it got put in that blanket because they had tested him a couple
Yeah.
different times and it was still positive.
Yeah.
So
So
that's what it
it,
was
it, it
listed
was
as.
probably a factor. It was probably
Yeah.
a factor
It may have
to
played a
his
factor,
demise,
but
but not the only reason.
right.
Yeah.
And my dad, he was 84 when he passed, so
Yeah. So he was not young.
no, he wasn't. And had several different health issues as well, so,
Hi, Jess B. How are you? Nice to see you. So I have to go soon here, but I don't know if ZZ Top. She's got legs and sharp dressed man. And so
Mhm.
Dusty Hill died a couple
He
weeks
did.
ago, and his wife was in the bed with him talking to him, and he was discussing that when he got better, he was going to tour again, and that he was going
Mhm.
to try to not be in as much pain and do all the therapy that he did not want to do before. And within seconds, he died.
Right,
Within
right.
seconds of him saying that, he was gone. He said it was like just a normal sentence, and it was like someone shut the light off, and he just went. And some people go that way. I
Sudden
had,
cardiac arrest,
yeah, I
there's
had
no coming back from it.
I had another friend where he said in his whole life he'd never really seen fear in his mom's eyes ever. His mom was a tough woman. In fact, I got her mad one time. She punched me in the head. So she wasn't afraid of anybody. She literally did when I was young. Punched me right in the head.
Oh my
Because she had
goodness.
slipped. I'll never forget it. She had slipped. And we laughed. And she came up to me and she goes, and she punched me in the head and she went, "Now that's funny." And I was like, And I'm telling you, she hit me hard. And I was like, whoa,
Mm.
wow. And she went, oh, I just gave you a baby's tap. Relax. And I was okay. But she said to my friend, John, she said, I'm worried. I don't feel right. Something's wrong. And she was trying to have some orange because she thought she was having some form of a diabetic attack. And he
Right.
said within seconds, she went, gone. Seconds.
Yeah.
Like, but she knew. She knew. So the thing is, we should never assume that we're going to wake up. We should be always very grateful for every breath. You know, it's there are no guarantees. We
There's not.
assume, and then we assume that the plant's going to be okay. And look at all the craziness going on right now in the world. All the
Mhm.
fires, the droughts, the flooding. It's just like how much do we need to suffer to realize we're going through some form of massive transition, or the planet's purging itself, or Mother Nature isn't very happy with us. Something's going on. Or you just can call it global warming. What do you think before we go?
Okay, I think, okay, let me address the global warming. I believe that we all need to be good stewards of the planet we live on. There's no doubt.
Hmm.
Regardless of where you fall on, yes, there's climate change. No, there's not. The earth, it's known that it goes through stages, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
But I do firmly believe we need to be better stewards of the planet we live on. Now, do I believe it is going through a change? Absolutely. Do
Hmm.
I believe that people have contributed? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it has. But that's the thing of, and if you're a Christian, if you're a Christian and you read the Bible,
Yeah.
it's all in the book. I'm sorry, but it all is in the book. You can read Daniel and Revelation and it's all laid out. This is not the end. I mean, this is, I don't, let me, I misspoke. This is,
Tim, if you want to come up for a few, you can. Yes.
I,
I have at least 10 minutes if you want to come up. Okay? There you go. He was asking me a question in the comments if we had time. Yeah, for about 10 minutes. Keep going. Sorry, hon.
but I do believe that, yeah, this is going towards the end
Hmm.
of, and Christians do believe in the rapture,
Yes, they
but you
do.
can read Revelation and see where it is. Um,
Yes.
you know, the Bible talks about earthquakes, wars, rumors of wars, which we
Yeah.
have had,
Yeah.
um,
Hey,
massive
Tim.
earthquakes.
Tim is with us. I just wanted to tell you.
Hey, Tim.
Joy is
Hey there.
vision impaired. Is that a nice way of saying it?
Yeah, yeah, blind, whatever.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to be respectful.
You're fine.
Tim, if you can, just plug yourself here, and I don't mean that in a nasty way. I mean promote yourself.
Oh, yeah. My name's Tim. I've been doing a show here on Haps for. We just did our 11th one, so we've done one weekly here for 11 weeks now. It's the Mental Health Hour.
Mm,
It's Gemma, if you guys know her, and
I love
myself.
Gemma. Yes.
Yeah, she's great. And we did one last night with Jim in Chicagoland.
Oh, I love
Um,
him too. He's God. His energy is boundless.
yeah, so him and share a commonality with a child diagnosed with leukemia. So
Right.
last night we broke down what it is to, uh, as a parent, to get that news that the doctor deliver that diagnosis to you, and then where do you go from there as mom and dad. And Gemma, she's a single mom. Of course, Jim's married and has Maureen, and they've been pretty active with getting medical cannabis laws passed in Illinois for epilepsy that was caused by the leukemia for their daughter Ashley, and it was a great episode. I kind of sat back and listened to those two, and yeah, everybody seemed to really enjoy it.
Yeah. Here's the thing with HAPS. It can bring people together from all over the world. And I hope we see more of that kind of programming. That was brilliant how you connected the dots. We don't do enough on mental health on here. I think we, and I'm guilty of silliness. If you've ever watched my shows,
Yeah,
they're insane. Especially when we do karaoke. I
yeah,
don't even know why people watch them, but they do. It's usually a bit of a shit show, but every once in a while we address health issues, and I love that you're spearheading it and having a focused group on it because we need that. And even if the views aren't 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, whatever, if you can just help 50 people, 100 people, like I think we need to not lose sight of the healing potential of what you do.
mm,
And your shows, people could watch them for the next 10 years. Because if you have,
yeah.
so thank you. Thank you.
That's
I
yeah.
really,
That's what we were really aiming for that very thing. There is last year I went through a pretty rough year, and I went down to an inpatient rehab facility for alcohol treatment,
mm-hmm.
and I learned so much stuff down there about myself and about mental health and about everything that was going on inside of me and in my brain. And yeah, I'm in a much better spot now, and it's even more helpful to be able to pass the information along. I mean, we come right out and tell you we're not trained therapists, but we are here to listen, and we're here to link you to the appropriate help if you need it.
Yeah. And people don't always need a therapist, they just need someone to listen,
Mm-hmm.
a
Right.
guided ear and someone who's not going to judge, right? Because
Right.
I think people that are in your situation, right? There's always judgment. In Gemma's situation, there's always judgment. Until you walk a mile in someone's shoes, you don't fully understand what they're going through. Tell us more about you being a firefighter. Tony V's in the house. Tony's only coming up because Joy's here, by the way. Uh, that is the sole purpose here.
That's not true, and you
It is
know it.
so. It is so true. He's kind. My love, there's only you in my life. How you doing, Tony? Your armpits
What's up,
never
man?
look
How you
better.
doing?
Yeah,
Y'all gotta excuse me. I don't know what's going on. The invite wasn't working. I know you sent
yeah.
one earlier. Just so you
Sound
know.
like Midnight Star
You
again.
wanna joy?
He just
Is
wants
it
to.
acting up?
Just tell Joy you love her. I know that's what you want to do. Just get it out.
Hey, sweetie.
He's smiling.
Hey Joy, how you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the signal's better now, correct?
No, but you
Okay,
just
big ups
profess
to
your love.
Helen,
It's
everybody in the chat, what's
it's
going
Haps
on?
Gold.
Oh God. Anyway, Tim,
Oh, now
good
you're
meeting
good.
you. I just came on a little bit late on what you're saying, and I want to give you props as a first responder. People always get the military their props, and I accept it. I'm grateful for it. Let me give a big up to the first responders because y'all deserve just as much respect for the sacrifices y'all make on the daily
Mhm.
as well, man. For real.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Are you in
Mike,
line right now at work?
no, I just dropped Jason off. I had to take him to school.
Okay.
I'm late running the place, but I already told them. For the
Okay.
mental health issues that you were saying weren't covered, the only reason I would disagree is because of how much Lucia was doing it when I first got on earlier this year. You know, Lucia Abar?
Lucia, yeah,
Yeah. Lucy, yeah,
yeah,
she was doing it a lot.
yeah. She's still
Like,
got a show. Um, she, her and I, we talk all the time as well.
That's what
Lucia
I
from the
thought.
HAPS team.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So,
she does that. Helen, you see that, right, Helen? You see that? Oh, my goodness.
I
What's going
do
on, Trump? How
accuse
may I
him of
help you?
flirting with everyone. I'm upset because he doesn't flirt with me. There you go. That's what it is. There, we got to the root of it, Helen. He's not an equal opportunity flirter. You're right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
discriminate. Yes,
there you go.
my flirting is very discriminatory. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
He's not an equal opportunist. No,
I am
that's
not.
okay. He knows what he likes, and you can't fault the man for that. There you go.
Never,
And
never.
poor Tim is like going, "What the hell have I walked into here?"
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I've, I've I've watched this your guys' show a lot, and I usually catch you in the mornings and stuff. And Tony's usually on. It's nice to actually officially introduce myself and meet you all. So thanks for having me up.
Well,
Likewise, man.
Tony
Likewise.
Tony's becoming a rising star on Haps, by the way. Yeah, even if he's not aware of it. And Joy has a lot of people who love her, but she's not been on enough. But the other day when we had you on, I had so many people thank me for bringing you up, and they love you. So Sweet Pea was very happy to see you, and she said that having Joy in the morning really it was a moment of joy. So there you go.
I love Leslie. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, you should do a program, Tim, with honestly with Joy. It kind of fits your
That's right.
scheme. Yeah, like
We can have her on anytime. Um,
yeah, and she's loved it.
we're,
It's only going to help your ratings. Trust me.
yeah, absolutely. We're always looking for guests if they have a good story that's in line with mental health that we can break down in some way, shape, or form. Topic. Um,
Tim,
absolutely.
this may be a good subject for you. I know that you had just said that you were in rehab for a while.
Hmm.
Um, 2 years ago, my brother-in-law went to an inpatient facility for about a month for alcoholism to get that under control and get everything else under control.
Hmm.
And then they had put him on some antidepressants. He was doing better, and he decided that he was doing so well, he abruptly stopped taking them.
Mm,
And about 2 months later, he died by suicide.
Yeah, that is.
So, you
I'm
know,
sorry to hear that. That certainly is a real thing with antidepressants.
it is.
These medicines that you're prescribed for depression, they have to be taken. You have to build your tolerance up to a certain um,
Hmm.
level, and then you have to maintain that. And if you ever decide that you want to come off of them, you have to wean yourself down.
Exactly. You
slowly,
Yeah.
do.
yeah,
Agreed.
You do. Yes.
methodically, yeah, not
And
abruptly.
several years ago, right. And several years ago, I was actually put on antidepressants. And, I told the doctor, I think I'm okay now. I want to come off of them. And they told me, they said, do not stop. We will wean you off of them. And that's what I had to do. And I was
Hmm.
fine after that. But, so many people with mental illness, bipolar, think that they're doing okay and they abruptly stop taking their meds and it can end disastrously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is a huge issue,
Yeah,
So,
these medicines that I mean, they're literally they're prescribed for your brain, and that's I mean, it's not like taking a medication for your blood pressure. It's a completely
right,
different ball of wax. And to be honest, I tell
exactly.
everybody, anybody that's dealing with antidepressants or benzos or anything of the sort, you should have these
Mhm.
prescribed to you by a psychiatrist.
Right,
Your primary care physician is great, but he is not trained in the brain the way that psychiatrists are, and they can prescribe medicine for the brain. They should be the ones doing it, and then your primary can refill it from there. You know.
right. And a lot of people think, oh, this one is going to work for me, but it may not. And you may have to try a couple of different medications before you find the right one for you.
Absolutely.
The other
So,
thing is they don't work
don't be
forever either. That's the other thing I've noticed with,
right, right.
yeah.
And the same thing goes for a counselor or therapist.
Hmm.
If you're seeing one on a regular basis and you're not getting anything out of it, then you need to shop
Right.
around and find yourself another counselor, because you
Exactly.
should be taking something
Yes.
from it.
Yes.
I've
That is
had
such a
I,
Just be
good
careful
point.
what you take
I've
because some of those
I've
medications
had
are
friends
addictive.
in the past that taken stuff and they were good for like 2 months, and then it didn't work. It's almost like the body rebelled and went no,
Mm,
and you could see them sliding back, but or they looked like they were absolutely numb and no life,
Exactly.
like high
Yeah.
all the time, which is scary too. Listen, folks, I do have to go. I have to start my day. But listen, we always end the program. You guys know how it works, or at least I try to. We always end by just saying what we're currently grateful for. So, Tim, you're new. What are you currently grateful for?
Well, today I am currently grateful for the opportunity to meet some more folks here on the HAPS platform. This has been such an awesome support network, even for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now I have over a year sober now, but I still need the support network just as much as the next guy. And this place is just another um, place to come outside of my other counselings and peer support groups and such. So I'm grateful for everybody on this platform. I'm grateful to be able to be heard. So
Yes. Wonderful. I'm so glad you came up. That was icing on a beautiful cake. Thank you so much.
yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay. So,
And thank you for your work.
yes.
Yep.
So, Joy, tell us what you're grateful for.
I am grateful that I'm spending time with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I am very grateful for that right now because I don't know because of the variant, I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to come back.
Perfect. Okay. Tony, what are you grateful for besides seeing the lovely effervescent Joy? Go ahead.
As of right now, give me 1 second. Sorry, give me one good second.
Okay. One good
Water.
second. I will say what I'm grateful for while he does that.
Appreciate it.
I'm grateful for the HAPS community. I'm grateful for the synchronicities that seem to constantly happen here on HAPS. And to have wonderful individuals like yourself that we have this morning on the program. And that's the thing with HAPS, you never know what guests you're going to get or the combination,
Mhm.
but it always seems to find a way to work out. Okay, Tony, hit us with your gratitude.
Lately, it's been family, it's been
Mm-hmm.
friends. I want to say the one thing I haven't mentioned up there: respect. A bunch of us have respect for each other. A bunch of us acknowledge each other, and a bunch of us always give each other time to be ourselves amongst each other, even with our differences. I think that's very huge. I think we need to keep that going more than anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yes. Do you think you and I need to work on our differences, Tony? Is that what you're saying?
We don't have any differences. You know
Oh,
why we don't have any
okay.
differences? Because there's a good distance in between us.
Okay. Okay. Do you get upset when you have to share joy with me? Does that make you
I get
upset?
I get very jealous
Yeah, I
because
noticed that. I could feel it.
I
It
get
was
very
like I felt
jealous.
like piercing eyes at the back of my head, like you were sharpening
You are
knives or swearing or
you are
something. It
correct.
was bad.
You are correct. I'm like
All
Julius
right.
Caesar. I'm looking above you while you sleep.
Yeah. Ooh. Helen, thank you for being here. Thank you, Intuitive D,
Hi,
for being
Helen.
here. Thank you so much,
Thank
Tim, for
you.
being here. Thank you, Hannah, for being here. Helen, thank you for being my moral compass. Lord knows I need it. Christine Zen, thank you so much. Until next time, God bless everybody. Take care.
Tim, get at me when you get a chance, bro. We got to talk for real.
All right.
Have a great weekend.